YouTube, it is I, Sakarma, coming to you with some one-on-one action from Total Brohammer here. This one is a Norsca versus Tomb Kings matchup. So this is the factions that haven't fought each other before. Of course, Norsca hasn't fought any of these new factions before, but Tomb Kings being the newest kid on the block, and Norsca being the kid who came right before them. So a little bit of a rivalry, I think. Zombies versus Vikings. Why not? I guess not zombies, more like Egyptian mummies versus Vikings. But yeah, it's a fun little matchup. Who doesn't want to see what's that guy's name? Ragnar from Vikings fight I don't know, Imhotep from The Mummy, the original one, not the Tom Cruise one, guys. That one's garbage. Anyways, so let's go over the competition real quick, right quick. So I've got Wulfric here, Wulfric the Wanderer, on a horse that has fire on its eyes and fire on its hooves. So it is in pain, but it's, I guess, glorious pain for chaos. And then Wulfric is just looking gangster. He's got the little mohawk. He's got that big old red beard. He's carrying skulls on him, which I can't imagine makes fighting any easier. But then, of course, he's got a flayed man's skin on his shield. And this poor horse, he must weigh like 1,000 pounds. Like, look at this guy. He is just jacked up in armor. That horse, the shield is giant. There's skulls. That can't be easy on that horse's back. That horse is gonna have a tough time, in the future. Arthritis, back problems, maybe hip replacement. You gotta think about these things, guys. Don't just throw your body away like that. And I've also got a couple of spearmen on either flank. I have a really weak front line of just 2 spearmen, Marauder champions, and Brutes of the Hound. I just find that the Norscan front lines are generally pretty bad, and you often have to go monsters, which is unfortunate because I'm not a big fan of Monster Mash. A lot of people, especially in the YouTuber community, are not huge fans of the Monster Mash. But what can you do, right? I mean, it's the way the game is played, and it's not awful. These are not single entity models because, in my opinion, single entity models can be the worst. So I brought 2 familiar warriors with great weapons, of course, to deal with constructs. I have my familiar Balefiend here of Shadows, which is the only one I really ever bring. He's just such a good unit. Does armor sundering, decent melee stats, decent armor, a lot of health for a caster. I'm not sure if he's considered a large entity. I think he is considered a large entity though, so, or at least he's bigger than the other units. So he is actually easier to snipe down. So that does make it easier to get him. I'd like to know if he's considered a large entity though. Be worth to. I wonder how you'd find that out. But anyways, yeah. So he's a good little unit. And then of course I've got some javelins to deal with constructs, and then some wolves. And on the left flank here, the Maws of Savagery. Yes, look at them with their glowing red eyes and also covered in human skin. I don't know if that's what I was. Look at this guy's hand. Is that 6 fingers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I'm having like. Oh, I thought that was a finger. Jesus. It just looks like it's 6. Looks like there's too many fingers. But yeah, he's howling at the moon. Is there a moon out? No, it's kind of light, but he's howling at the moon. He's ready to go tear some flesh off of whatever flesh remains on these damn Kemrians. He's going to rip off. And then, of course, I've got here a Marauder Javelin with throwing axes. My opponent, meanwhile, he's got a front line of Tomb Guard, Skeleton Warriors, and 1 Kepler Guard. Although I don't know why that's not the little diamond that lets us know that it's lets us know it's the whatchamahoozah, Regiment of Renown. That's kind of unfortunate, but other than that, that's their front line. Blessed Legion of Fucked also without the diamond, so they're diamondless. If you want it, you better put a diamond on it. That's what they say, but there's no diamond here. A couple of Skeleton Warriors on either flank, a Nehekara Horseman, some chariots. We've got GHK, your boy. Oh yeah, shit. Before we go on, we got GHK, your boy, on a chariot, and this game he is just fucking hard to get. Whoa, they are real close. That guy is not worthy to be that close to GHK. He's never earned GHK's presence like that. I mean, I'm just saying that because I'm jealous. I would love to be held by GHK. He's my favorite lord, or one of my favorite lords. And then you have a skeleton chariot here with 9 of them, pretty cool, and they've had a huge cost reduction, so you're gonna see a lot more of them, I think. And then the Bone Giant, yes, the Bone Giant. Let's take a quick look at this guy. So he's a specialist artillery, 80 armor, not bad. Almost 10,000 health, that's a ton. 48 leadership is pretty weak, but you expect that from Tomb Kings. 32 speed, of course, slow. Melee attack 30 and 25, so really bad melee stats. But 400 damage, so when he does hit, he obviously is going to take a chunk out of your face. Pretty weak charge bonus for large unit, but of course he's not for melee. He is for ranged, and at ranged he does a lot. So he does bonus versus large of 150, so he does, oh my god, so almost 700 damage against large. A lot of that armor piercing, and also explodes. So he is nuts. Does magical damage. Has 350 range. So he's going to be an absolute terror. So you put him with Chosen of the Gods, I think you're going to see a lot of like Tomb King firing lines, and that's going to be just disgusting. But anyways, so brought a Bone Giant. I know what you're thinking. So Karma's going to make a dick joke about the Bone Giant, but no. Today I'm going to go, well, let's see how this shot does actually before I make my stupid jokes, my lame jokes. So he fucks up that Famir Balefiend. Oh, he's going to get up though. Jesus Christ, but he put him on his ass. But yeah, no, I will not be making a dick joke about the Bone Giant. I'm better than that. Anyways, I make a big mistake here, and I didn't realize how fast he was compared to my army. I don't know what his speed is, about 58. He's so fast. So he went right in front, and he ended up engaging with the guys right in line of all their archers. So I'm basically just gonna lose my caster before I know it. I also didn't see this, so a lot of poor plays on my part because I was heavily aggressively microing over here trying to push on their flank. But yeah, so I basically lost my caster within the first few seconds of the battle, so not a good start, and I'm losing my javelin throwers to these carrions, so bad news. I'm trying to bring these guys to Brutes of the Hound, but it's not going to work out. I get these Norsca Ice Wolves into the archers, but they flee in moments while doing almost no damage, so not at all a good engagement to start the game. I send Wolfric in here just to run through and start trying to muck up these archers, prevent them from firing, because they're very dangerous. The Brutes of the Hound naturally are going to cut through everything in here. I get a nice Seafarer here and do a good amount of damage, just wrecking the Skeleton Warrior, which is huge. I pull these Brutes of the Hound, and oh man, they just look so badass with their giant butcher cleavers, like just going crazy. So they're going to tear up some of these archers, which is huge for me. The Norsca Ice Wolves do come back, and I'm going to get them in here, mucking up this back, because the front line's pretty weak. I mean, I'm not really worried about Tomb Guard and all that. They'll lose to Famir Warriors. I need to kill these archers, because these archers are allowed to stay online. The game's over. So I pull pretty much all my most expensive units in this back line, again, with the intention of shutting down their ranged. That's the only thing I'm trying to do here. So I have the Brutes of the Hound. They're mucked in. Of course, they will not flee. They cannot be terrified, because they are unbreakable. So it's just a good little move for them to just get in here and muck up some murder some units. But we've killed them too fast, so they've been able to summon a Ushabti in the back line. But it doesn't really matter. I have no back line anymore. My Marauder Javelins were killed rather quickly. I'm just very much focused on killing these archers, and we're doing a good job of it. The Maws of Savagery are taking some hits, but of course they can heal, and they're going to put all these guys down. I do get these Marauder Horsemen. I'm just putting them on cycle charging duty, again, to prevent these guys from firing. I have to get to these Blessed Legion of Fucked, or else they will fuck me up. So I send these Famir Balefiends, I pass them through here, because there's no reason to fight that battle. This is more important to kill these guys. So I have these Famir Balefiend, dealing with them. These guys over here are going to help get rid of the Kepler Guard. And I've sort of just left my infantry. I don't need it. The only infantry unit I really need is the Brutes of the Hound. Brutes of the Hound. The Bone Giant is trying to bone these guys with his giant bone bow, which is like electrified. He is just cool looking. Oh, and also another thing to note, real quick to mix the battle, he looks like King Kong. He's got like a King Kong face, which I think is so cool. Look at that. He looks like a sapien, like a monkey. So the monkey has become full sapien. The ape, if you guys are fucking technical. Oh, apes aren't monkeys, so can't be fucking idiot. Can. Anyways, I ain't no anthropologist. That's not what they do. I don't know. Whoever classifies animals. I ain't one of them. I ain't nobody who classifies animals. I ain't nobody who knows names about people who classify animals. Anyway, so he looks like King Kong, and he's stomping on berserkers, on Vikings. So what other video game can you get a King Kong dressed in Egyptian garb with a giant bow and arrow stepping on little Viking men who have flaming axes and pray to the gods of chaos? Only in Warhammer. So you gotta love it. You gotta love it. And we're gonna start it there. So yeah, you can't knock Warhammer for pure just fucking madness. Nobody beats Warhammer when it comes to that. Meanwhile, my Famir Warriors are coming in the back line again, just trying to kill these skeleton archers, the only people that really matter to me in this battle. As you can see, the front line is actually even kind of went in our favor. With the help of the Famir Balefiends, we were able to do quite well. And the Marauder Champions are trading decently with the Kepler Guard. They're just such a shit unit, Marauder Champions. I've never had any success with them in any battle. I don't think I'm ever going to bring them again. I just think they're bad. They just never do anything for me. He gets a Soulstorm in here, but there's not a lot of units in here that are mine. He actually probably does more damage to his Skeleton Archers, because it's not going to do much damage to the Famir Balefiend, and the Brutes of the Hound are almost dead already, so... And he cuts another one. So he casts a spell, and his bound spell, and he casts one. So 2 Skullfiends, but again, they do more damage to him than it is to me. Of course, my units are more expensive than his, but still. I think that was the best move. Over here, we're just trying to aggressively hunt down GHK, but Homie is slippery on his chariot. It's surprisingly hard to get. His chariot's pretty thin. It's pretty slim. and graceful and just beautiful as GHK himself. So it's hard to pin him down, even though Wulfric is aggressively trying to get at him. But I decided to send Wulfric against this Bone Giant, do some damage. He's the only thing that can really kill that Bone Giant, anyways. As you can see over here, you know, front lines, you know, pretty much atrocious battle. We both kind of, both of us lost pretty much our entire armies. But what can you do? Meanwhile, this comes out here, and I get another, whatever that's called, Sea Fang, you know, do some more damage on the Skeleton Warriors. My Monster Savage are going to retreat, but they have about half their units left, so they will heal. The Brutes of the Hound have 10 units left, 10 models rather. They're just here ready to fight, you know, spoiling for some murder. The Familiar Greatfields are going to, you know, do really well against that Bone Giant with their bonus versus large and their armor sundering. This guy's at 50 armor. Over here, Wulfric is just running around, you know, doing what he can do, trying to hunt down GHK, but it's a difficult move. But over here, we've got some recovering Familiar Balefiends. The Mazatadri returned. At this point, and the Bone Giant's starting to come down. At this point, it's not good for my opponent. There's not a whole lot left that he has, especially to deal with these Familiar Balefiends. Once we shut down the range, dealing with those Familiar Balefiends was very difficult because he didn't have the Necrosphinx or any other large constructs to help deal with them, which I like, actually. So my opponent brought a non-construct. Oh no, King Kong has fallen. Did he just disappear? No, he didn't. He's right there. 'Twas music that killed the beast. I guess he's kind of, I don't know why he's phasing in and out. But yeah, so we murdered the beast. King Kong is down. Over here, I've got the Hunter of Champions on him, and he's still able to fucking sneak away. I just can't seem to get him. And Wulfric doesn't have a lot of mass, and he keeps getting caught up in these fights. So yeah, but at this point, it's pretty much over. So we'll just speed it up. We're gonna have to put down. I don't want to watch GHK die any more than I have to. So yeah, we finish up, we wrap up, and then that's all she wrote. Murder she wrote. Murder she wrote. So Spudhouse, thank you very GDU. He was a really nice guy. He recognized me. So, you know, so it's always nice to play a fan. Thank you for bringing the Bone Giant. Good little unit. Norsca reaction. I think really the Familiar Balefiend are the best units with great weapons. Are the best units on Norsca, bar none. The Maza Savagery, of course, are very good, and so are Skin Wolves. But problem is, so many units have fire damage these days that it's going to be very difficult to use them effectively. I find Marauder Berserkers to be very underwhelming in most situations. I just find they don't ever really perform as what they need to. They're like they're the same cost as Saurus Warriors, and they just don't ever do. They don't. I mean, they kill fast, but they die so much faster. Pardon me. And you compare them to something like War Dancers, which I just find way more effective. So not sure about the Marauder Berserkers, but what can you do? You know, they're kind of cool, I guess. I mean, Vikings. Meh. I'm not the biggest fan of Norsca. I think they're cool. I just don't think they're so fucking cool, dude. They're so rad. I wouldn't say they're rad. They're cool. They're not rad. Anyways, with that lame sound I made, I'll let you guys go. So I'll see you around the bend.